Alright, so in today's video, I am going to be giving you guys the official console Year 8 Season 1 operator tier list. I never do these tier lists because I just feel like they don't really do that well and you guys may not want to see them. But a lot of people have been asking me like what the best operators, who do I like to play the most. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do a tier list. I'm going to break down what I think is the best operators that you should be using in all of these tiers for Year 8 Season 1, because a lot changes. Like, you need to re-update these every season because there's new stuff that are really good each season. So, without further ado, let's get into this. But also, I do want to say, this console version will most likely be very different from PC version, because there is a very, significant difference, for the most part, with certain operators that can bring on PC and console. I'm not saying that console is, bad or anything, but the playstyles are absolutely different. Like, it's much more run and gun compared to PC. If you look at Kapkan's ban rate, that's all I gotta say. But let's start this. Starting off with Sledge. Sledge is absolutely an S tier operator, just off the sheer fact that he can make vertical, he's a gun that has 0 recoil, and he has grenades. Grenades are going to boost an operator up so much, especially in today's meta, when you can go from below and just nade people. Let me tell you, 100% Sledge in S tier. Now we have Thatcher. I feel like Thatcher I'd probably put in B tier. He used to be up higher much more, but it's like, why would I take Thatcher when I can take somebody like Osa, for example, or Lion, for example, who I can use their kit while at the same time have a mini Thatcher grenade and get the job done for like the same thing. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like he used to be like amazing and people are still weird and will ban him, but he's not nearly as good as he used to, especially since they introduced the EMP. Like, you can literally have a mini Thatcher in your pocket. So he's in B tier. Next we have Smoke. Smoke is easily an S tier operator. He can literally hold a plant off for about 30 seconds with his 3 canisters lasting 10 seconds each. He has a shotgun for rotates. He has a shield to hold the doorway. He has an SMG-11 as a secondary. Amazing. Like, I'm not using no FMG-9. You're an idiot if you use that. But we're not an idiot. Some pro league players do it too. But you're trolling in my eyes. Why would you use that? Use an SMG-11 for your secondary. So that's why I put him in S tier. Mute, I would put in A tier. Maybe even almost S tier. I don't know. I feel like Mute's really good. But the problem is, like, it could be shot out fairly easy or naded fairly easy. But Mute is so good. Mute is so good. Like, 100%. But I don't want to put too many in S tier. I'm just going to be completely honest with you on everyone I think. I'll put Mute in A. Mute is an amazing pick. Next, we have Thermite. Easily S tier. Now, although his gun is not the best gun of all the hard breachers, I feel like he makes the biggest hole out of all of them. And opening up a whole wall is so much better than opening up little holes. And, for example, with somebody like Hibana or somebody, not even like Hibana, but really more of like Ace. If you throw an Ace charge at a wall, you have to vault in, which we're going to get to, which makes a noise. So it's going to, it's going to take away some points. So I'm going to put him at S tier. He has flashes. A good gun. That's not bad, but it's just not, the best. Next, we have Ashe. I'm going to put Ashe in A tier. I would put her in S tier, but I feel like Zofia is going to be above her, just off the sheer fact of she has a 1.5 times scope, she has flashes, and she has, like, the same thing Ashe can do. So I feel like automatically Ashe is going to be below Zofia. But next we have Pulse. I would put Pulse in B tier. I feel like Pulse is an amazing operator, but he's also a situational operator. And if he had a better gun on him, he would be insane. But he's a UMP-45, and they did just give him a 1.5 times scope, and he is really good on specific sites. If you go on, like, Villa, for example, and you're defending upstairs, Pulse downstairs, S tier operator to play. But he's a very situational operator, so therefore I'm going to put him in B. Still a good operator. Castle, I'm going to put him in an A tier. He would be S tier if he had a better gun, but his gun is horrendous. UMP, I just cannot be bothered. But he's still very good because he's able to, if you can get a good castle strat going, it is insane. He's very, very, very good operator, and whoever has to use him, rest in peace, because they have to use the UMP-45, you better aim for the head. But a very good operator can make shotgun rotates, solid overall, good operator. Montang, I'm going to put him in a D tier. Personally, listen, Monty could be very good, absolutely. You can get a great plant going on, like, border, for example, take control of armor lockers, throw some smokes down plant. He's not always a D tier, but, like, I personally hate the whole aspect of, if somebody plays Montang on my team, I want to strangle them, because most of the time they do not know how to play Montang, and it's just a 4v5, and they're just stupid. So therefore, I'm putting Montang in D tier. He can absolutely play at an S tier level if you know how to play him correctly, but I have been playing this game for 8 years, and I just never seen a good Montang player unless I'm watching Pro League, so therefore I'm putting him in D tier. Still a good operator. You can argue C tier, but I'm putting him in D tier. Next, we have Twitch. I'll put her in B tier. Only because normally she would probably be an A tier, but they did just take away her grip on her F2. So I feel like they're just trolling. She's definitely not nearly as good as she was because her gun is so annoying to have to deal with now. You know, it's like, okay, now I gotta make sure I'm having the best recoil possible, which I have a video on me using her. She's still a very good operator, don't get me wrong. The F2 is still crazy, but they took the grip off of her. It's a troll. But her, utility still is very good. Doc, I almost want to say S tier. I'll put him in A tier. Just because, with his recent buff, he can literally, you can, shoot somebody from across the map with their stim and increase the health up to max health. Maybe even that, maybe a little bit over max health. Just in one little stim. Immediately max health. Overhealed and everything. It's nuts. So, Doc being able to do that and essentially bring another player back to life, essentially, is very good to have. If somebody picks a Doc pick, I'm not going to be mad. If one of my teammates goes Doc, I'm not going to cry. Unless, of course, we need somebody that we need. But I would say Doc is a solid A tier pick. Next, we have Rook. Now, this is the thing. Rook can self-res now. I might put him in A or B. I don't know. A or B. I'm going to say A tier. I'm going to say he's better than Doc. Just at the sheer fact of you place these down and everyone now gets a health boost, right? So they have more health. And on top of that, they can self-res. Whereas the Doc, if the Doc dies, there's no benefit to the team. But if a Rook dies, everyone still has his armor. So, and he has a 2-time scope. He's the only defender, I think, with a 2-time scope on his gun. I was actually using Rook last night on stream. He's actually really good, especially with his recent buff. And he can self-res 100%. Yeah, no. I'll keep him in A tier. I'll keep him above Doc. Next, we have Fuse. This is actually a crazy pick. But I would put Fuse in B tier. But I feel like he could definitely be an A or an S tier if he's right on the right side. Fuse is such a good operator. Being able to clear out areas is insane. I just think it's a very situational. It's one of those situation operators where you're not going to be able to do it all the time. It's almost like a pulse situation. It's just situational. Glaz, I would put Glaz actually at either B or C tier. He's still a very good operator. A lot of these operators that you could be in a very situational time and they'll do good in those situations. But for example, if I'm putting him in C tier just because if you're in a 5-stack and you're coordinating with your team, you could run Glaz and you will cook kids, because if you guys can all throw your smokes, all play off it correctly, it is solid. But you need a team for that. You cannot just solo pick Glaz and think that you're about to just be him. You're about to be the American Sniper, Lee Harvey Oswald. It's not gonna happen. So you have to really work around your team with Glaz. But if you could pick Glaz, go on coastline, upside down rappel, and service kitchen, you can go crazy with him. But if someone takes Glaz on my team, I'm gonna be tight. If we're not working together. Tachanka, I would put Tachanka at C tier, maybe even B tier. I don't know. Tachanka's really good as well, kind of like with Smoke. He can waste a lot of time, and he has the ability to make rotates fairly well with his gun. But I just think it's very situational, so I'm gonna put him at C tier. Next we have Kapkan, immediate S tier. Immediate S tier. Because, let me explain. Okay, Kapkan has a 1.5-time scope. I think he's a 3-speed as well. He has a C4, and his gun has no recoil. But his Kapkan traps are the most annoying thing in the world, especially on console. On console, no one looks for these. Ever. Including myself. The amount of times I walk into a Kapkan, it pisses me off. Because I'll say, hey guys, it's a Kapkan, and somehow still fucking walk into it. So, you don't think, because there's so much going on. There is so much going on. So people don't always think to look down at doorways. So it's really, really good to, soften up the team. Even if you die, you still have an impact if people are not constantly checking for a Kapkan. Kapkan is an immediate S tier. That's why his band rate is literally on console insanely high. He's the most banned operator. They came out with a stat on the R6 Esports page. And if you looked at the PC ban rates compared to the console ban rates, it was crazy how much Kapkan was banned. I don't even think Kapkan was on the PC charts at all. But on console, it was literally the highest one. So, Kapkan at the S tier 100%. Blitz, once his shield nerf comes out, or once his shield buff comes out, I think I'll put him higher. But I'll probably put him at C. I'm taking a Blitz over a Montagne just for the sheer fact of this guy will actually shoot. This little rat that play Monty will sit in a corner and not do anything. And I'm not saying for all Monty players. Once again, there's some great Monty players, but you have to actually be a good Monty player. It's not something you just pick up and just completely be good with. People just ask on shield sometimes. It's a 4v5. IQ I'll put at B tier. I don't think she's like the craziest. I mean, I think she's very good if you're going up against somebody like a Pulse or somebody like a Solus. But like, you know, like I'm not gonna be mad if you take IQ. I think IQ is great, but she's nothing crazy. Like you don't need to have an IQ. I don't think you do really. Next we have Bandit. I put Bandit at A tier. Great for stopping the wall. You know, you could Bandit trick with him. He's a great kit. MP7 C4, solid overall. Solid pick, I won't be mad. Jager, I'd put at A tier as well. Maybe even S tier. Yeah, I'd put Jager at S tier. He has an AR on defense. Having an AR on defense is really, really good. On top of that, you have 3 ADSs. The only thing is that I think Wamai is a better ADS catcher or, you know, catching grenades. Because, like, you could throw them all in different directions. And on top of that, like, you can get Capitao bolts to them. So, it's a benefit. Next, we have Buck. Buck, I'd put in A tier. I don't think he's as good as Sledge. But I do think, because he doesn't have nades. But I think if he had nades, it would be above him. But his gun is insane. You can even say he's S tier if you'd like to. But I'm picking the Sledge over a Buck just off of the sheer fact of he has grenades. So, and Buck only has flashes and he has a hard breach device. Which is good, he has a hard breach device, so it actually is pretty solid. So it's really up to you if you want to get you know, vertical and then open up a hatch, or just get vertical and then, you know, use your nades. So it's up to you. Next we have Frost. I put Frost in S tier. Let me explain real quick. So Frost is the 1.5 times scope. She has a shotgun. She can easily make rotates. She has a shield. And on top of that, okay, if let's say we're playing clubhouse defense and we are playing in, you know, gym bedroom, you can place these frost mats on all these windows. And think about it. They now have to, when they jump in, either look down and shoot, or hop in and look at you and shoot you. So it automatically kind of helps the defenders not have to worry about something, because, you know, they'll know, like, if somebody hops in, because they'll shoot at the ground, like, get hit by a frost mat. They hear the vault animation, and then they can swing on the guy. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, he vaults in, you hear that animation, you get up, you swing him, he's looking down, shooting at the frost mat, has to look back up at you, his aim's all over the place. Frost is amazing. Very, very good operator. You cannot go wrong for taking a Frost pick. And she's a 1.5 times scope. Blackbeard, E tier. He's just shit. He just, like, they need to do something about him. He's just ass. Valk, S tier. The amount of information that you can get with Valk, like, the only thing I would say was her gun is just mid. If she had a 1.5 times scope, oh my god, her pick rate would go crazy. That's the only reason people pick Warden. But her gun's a very good gun. It's just a headshot machine. You have to hit your heads. And without a 1.5 times scope, it's annoying. But she's a very good operator. Has C4. Can get so much information on the team. And even when she dies, she's the best operator to have if you die. Like, it is nuts. Next, we have Kapkan. I actually think he's, like, one of the most underrated operators in the game. I wouldn't put him in S tier, but I would put him in A tier. I think he's just a very underrated operator. Like, if you need to clear out a certain area, you can just shoot a firebolt. If you need to get a hatch open, I'm pretty sure he has hard breach devices. If you need to smoke off a certain area, let's say you're playing Glass. A Glass with a Kapkan goes crazy, let me tell you. Like, these two together are nuts. But I think he's a very, very, like, underappreciated operator. He's a very, very good operator. Next we have Cav. I'm gonna put Cav at C tier. I think she could be very good in the right hands, but at a high level, like, you're just gonna drone out the Cav and kill her. If you see they have a Cav, literally you could just drone it out, push together, get the refrag, and it's much easier. I feel like, you know, like, in champion elo, like, unless you're a Hitman JDA, like, you're not going to really, I'm not going to worry about a Cav. I'm just going to drone her out, push her my team, and we're going to pinch her. And you're going to guarantee she's roaming. Like, there's none of these people you can guarantee is roaming besides Cav. Unless they're a freak and playing Cav in sight, which is highly, highly unlikely, Cav is not the greatest. But she is a good operator. She's a sleeper pick. I think she's definitely an underrated operator. But I don't think she's, like, some sort of crazy operator that everyone needs to be using. But she's definitely really, really fun to play. Probably the most fun operator to play by far. And she's very good. But in the right hands, she's very good. Next, we have Hibana. I would probably say one of the best, if not the best, hard breach. Because you can... how many pulse does she have? 12 or 16? But you can use 4 to open up a hatch, 2 to open up a soft hatch. You can get both hatches and come downstairs and get the wall. She's a very, very good operator. She has flashes. She has a good gun. She's a bearing 9. One of the best hard breach people that you can use. Amazing. Next, we have Echo. I put Echo at B tier. I would say Echo's a solid operator. Only thing is he's going to sit and not really do much for most of the round. He's going to hide in the site because he's going to be on his drones for the most part. Very good operator though, but they did recently nerf him. So I feel like, you know, now that his yokais are not invisible, they're much easier to see. So he's not really picked as much. But he's a good, I might even put him in C tier. No. I'll put him in B tier. Because you can still hide with the echo drones and then wait for them to go plant and then be able to deny it from far away. So I'll put him there. Jackal, I'd put him in S tier. Just for the sheer fact of you can quickly get rid of a roam clear. Like that. Like, for example, like, okay, let's say we're playing Oregon. They're downstairs. Okay, let me set the Jackal on top floor. See if there's anyone look for footsteps. Track him down. Boom. We saved ourselves so much time. We don't have to draw out all this crazy shit. We're good. So it's like, he's insanely good. 150%. Like, you will stop a roam clear so much faster if you have a Jackal. Next, we have Mira, easily in S tier. She changes the way rounds go by far. Like, if somebody has a Mira, it's almost impossible to push a certain angle. Like you have to do something about the Mira. Like, Mira is the biggest game-changing defender that you can have. Next, we have Ying. I would actually put her at A tier. I think she's like a very underrated operator, and if she's used correctly, where you're not flashing your entire team, she's actually a very good operator. I don't think she's used a lot on console, not nearly as much as she should be, but she has a pretty solid gun, and she has a really good pistol. She's Legion's pistol. I'd put her at A tier 100%. She's insanely good. Lesion, I would put Lesion at A tier as well. I think having a Lesion is very good. It's almost the same thing as having a Frost in terms of, like, giving you that, like, okay, I don't need to watch that. They'll walk into that or hit them shoot it type thing, which is very good to have. Like, you don't have to worry about main stairs because if, you know, they'll walk into it or they're going to shoot it, they're going to alarm you. He has a very, very good gun. The T5 is crazy. He has impacts for rotates. I put him at A 100%. Zofia, S tier. She's above Ashe 100%. She has flashes. She has impacts. She has a gun with a 1.5. Her gun is not hard to control, and she has an LMG if you want to use an LMG. So, easily an S tier. Ella. I put Ella at A tier. A tier or B tier? I put Ella at B tier, because she doesn't have impacts anymore. She has... Oh, she has another shotgun, though, which does go crazy. But I put her at B tier. I think her kit, maybe not actually, I put her at A tier. I think her kit is very good. Like, you have a Scorpion that just melts people, and especially if you have Compensator in that thing now with this season with the new buff, she's a solid pick. Like, if somebody takes Ella, I'm not gonna be mad. It's a solid pick. Dokkaebi, I put her at A tier. She's another one with Jackal, but I would pick Jackal above Dokkaebi. But Dokkaebi is right underneath Jackal for that same way of roam clearing. If you are pushing in upstairs, if somebody calls Dokkaebi, you can completely clear out that entire area if you don't hear a phone ring. On top of that, when you kill someone, you can hack their cameras. So if they have a Valkyrie, you get all those crazy cameras. Either way, you can see the camera. She's very good. She's a DMR. She has a great SMG-12. She's a very good operator to pick. But in terms of roam clearing, I'd put Jackal above her, so I'll put her in A tier. Vigil, I would put him in S tier in terms of roaming. Like, you can literally waste so much time with Vigil. He's the best roamer by far. He's a very good gun. He has impacts, a C75, and he can go invisible. And the drones have no idea where he is, and he's wasting time. The most important thing about roaming is to waste time and get kills. And that's exactly what Vigil does 100%. So Vigil, an S tier roamer, 100%. He's a better roamer than Jager, 100%. It's not even close. Next, I'd put Lion. I put Lion in A tier. Only because he has... I'm pretty sure he has the EMPs, or you can use a hard breach device. He's a good gun. Lion is still a very good operator to bring if you can make people stand still for a certain amount of time when you swing in. Like, for example, if you play off of the Lion, it's very, very good. Like, when people play Lion, the amount of confidence that I have swinging something, because I know someone's going to be standing still, is insane. So, yeah, 100%. Finka LMG got nerfed. I put her at A tier. She used to be S tier, but she's still a very good operator. I think she lost her nade, so she definitely is an A tier. But she still has an LMG. She can still heal people, still revive people from far away. Still a very good operator overall. Alibi, I put Alibi in A tier, not S tier anymore. She used to be an S tier when she had a 1.5 times scope, but definitely not anymore. But still, she has prismas that you can do with the same thing, just like a Frost Trap or a Lesion. Put them in windows, right? So people shoot up in a window, then they get marked. People hop in, they have to look down to shoot at it. Either way, they get marked, and you hear them vault in, and you hear them shoot at it. She's a good bailiff to make rotate. She has a shield. Solid operator all around, and her gun is very good. Maisho, I put Maisho at A tier as well. I don't really say he's S tier. I'd say he's A tier. Not really much to say. Great LMG, bailiff, impacts if you want, and good gun. Yeah, 100% A tier. Maverick, A tier. Used to be the best hard breach, hands down, when he had nades, but now he doesn't have nades, so therefore he goes down. I love playing him though. His gun is amazing with the 1.5 times. Oh my god. I still play him so much. And he's just good to be a little rat, making a little bunch of like little Swiss cheese holes in the wall. It's very, very good. I actually might put IQ up at A tier, because I think IQ is still an amazing operator to bring in terms of like clearing utility and like seeing if people have stuff. So I'm gonna move her up to A tier. I feel like I'm taking IQ over all of these operators. So I'll put IQ at A tier. Next we have Clash. I put Clash at D tier. I think Clash is a better Monty in terms of like on defense. You can just like shock people and play really aggressive. Actually, now I'll put her at C tier because she's definitely better than Monty. Clash is annoying to deal with, very annoying to deal with. So I put her at C tier. She's still a good operator, but she's just very annoying. Nomad easily S tier, 100%. Completely changes around. You don't have to watch certain flanks. Great gun. She has a 1.5 times on her ARX. She has flashes. Very good operator to bring. You see me play Nomad a lot if you watch my streams. Kade as well. I'm putting Kade above Bandit. Like, if this was the case, I'd put Kade above Bandit. You can place them inside of little, like holes in the floor. There's so many different ways that you can place it to where the enemy would not be able to get rid of it. And he's a C4 and a good gun as well. I miss his 1.5 times. May he rest in peace. But very 100% best, like, wall denial, not even close. Gridlock, A tier, I would say. She's underneath Nomad as well. Not as good as Nomad, but still she's actually very underrated. She's a very good gun, and the Gridlocks are still very annoying to deal with, and they get the job done to an extent. But Nomad definitely better, 100%. Mozzie, I put Mozzie at S tier just off the sheer fact of, think about it. You can get, like, information is everything in this game, and if you can get a drone in the right spot, it is so good. Like, for example, if you're playing Oregon and you're upstairs, you get a drone, you place that inside of master bedroom, you can see everyone. You have so much information, and you could drive it around. It's like a Valcam, you can drive around. So 100% an S tier operator, has a good gun and a C4. Nokk, put Nokk at S tier as well. Nokk has nades. She has a 1.5 times an FMG9. I think she has a heartbeat device, and she's just insane. People use her so much. Like, you're able to sneak in throughout the cam seeing you, without the Mozzie cam seeing you, without the Val cam seeing you, without the default cam seeing you, and just get in right away. She's a very, very good operator. Warden, S tier as well. With this new flash smoke meta that people love to do, and on top of that, his 1.5 times in C4 and SMG12, easily an S tier operator. And it's crazy, because if you were to set this like a couple seasons or a year back, I would be like, he's terrible. But no, nuts. Amaru, I put Amaru at, just off of her kit alone, A tier. She has a G8 with an SMG11. Okay, and flashes. Like, the kit is insane. If you just want to frag out, go ahead and take Amaru. Like, you are going to frag out with that. I think she has a hard device as well. So she is pretty insane. And she's definitely a very situational operator, but she's still, like, the kit-wise, her gun is nuts. It's insane. Goyo, I think an S tier. I'm not gonna lie to you. The amount of time that you can waste with a Goyo, and he has a C4 and a 1.5 times on his, like, what is it, Vector? It is nuts. You can waste so much time with Goyo. Goyo is such a good operator to bring. Next we have Kali. I put Kali in B tier. Like, she's a good operator, but, like, I don't want a Kali on my team. Like, get a grip. Like, I'm not using a fucking Kali. Like, what, should I play like I'm in phase? Like, no, I'm good. Wamai, I'd put Wamai, ooh. I want to put him in S tier in terms of his gadget. But he's like, he lost to 1.5 times. But no, I feel like I have to. Because I think the Wamai gadget is much better than the Jager gadget. It's much easier to, like, not get shot out. Like, Jager, they can shoot out. But you can place Wamai in all these crazy spots on the roof, on the ceiling, and catch Kapkan bolts. Very, 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 very good. Yana, easily S tier. Has nades, has a great clone, has a G36C with a 1.5 times scope. Insane operator. My favorite attacker in the game right now. Easily an S tier operator. Oryx, S tier as well. 100% S tier. If they get rid of his 1.5 times scope, he's not going to be seen ever again. I think the only thing he has for him is he has a bailiff, he has barbed wire, he can make rotation running around, he can run around the map fairly well, but just a fragging operator. Like, you will see Oryx in every single round just off the sheer fact he's a 1.5 times scope on his T5. If they get rid of that, he's done for. Bro will be cooked. Bro will be working at McDonald's. Like, nobody is going to be playing Oryx if they get rid of the 1.5 times. Next, we have Ace. In terms of kit, I'd put him at A, but in terms of S. But in terms of his hard reach device, I'd put him at A. Just on the sheer fact, it's probably the worst hard reach device that you can go. Only because, think about it, okay? a Hibana and a Thermite. You open the wall, and you can make it so that way you just, open the wall and you can walk right in. But with Ace, you have to waste more, or you have to throw it really low. Because with Ace, a lot of the times, you have a vault to get in. You have to vault to get in. With Thermite, you walk in. With Ace, a lot of times, you have to vault to get in. When you vault in, 1, that makes an animation, and 2, your gun is down vaulting in. So, like, people will swing off of that, and they'll have more information. But if we have a Thermite, I can, like, literally just slow walk into the site, and they'll have no idea. So, Ace, but in terms of his kit, the best. He brought an AK-12, amazing gun, one of the best guns in the game. And, like, he's just a very good operator to bring. You could throw it from far away. Like, I personally, I'm going to play Ace 10 times out of 10 before I play a Thermite. But in terms of, like, what is the best, I know Thermite is better. But me, I don't care. I'm taking Ace over Thermite. I'm not trolling with Thermite's gun. I'm taking an AK-12. Melusi, I put Melusi at an A tier. I think she's a very good operator for like, giving information when people come in. I think her gun's pretty solid to the MP5. I think she's a pretty good operator, really. Like, she's really good on a lot of sites. Zero, easily, I'm sure you guys know my answer, S tier. Zero is by far, hands down, the best solo queue operator that you can take. I'll give my spiel real quick. He has a 1.5 times scope with a great gun. He has a heartbeat device. You're solo queuing, you can get the wall. Oh wait, there's a mute on the wall. Oh wait, shoot your camera. You could inside the wall, shoot the camera, or shoot the mute off the wall. Oh, the bandit. Open the door, shoot it at a wall next to it, shoot the bandit off the wall. You can get it yourself. Oh, you open the wall? There's somebody with a shield there? Oh, hold on. Let me shoot my cameras, burn the ADS, and then let me take out my Gon 6 and destroy the shield, or destroy the Maestro turret, or destroy the Melusi device. She is by far the best operator in terms of a flex operator. He fills every single role that any operator needs. Okay, like your heartbeat dies, he's got you. Your Twitch dies, he's got you. Your flank watch dies, he's got you. Set up cameras on flank watch. He's very, very good. Best operator in the game. Aruni, I would put Aruni at S tier. Okay, just with the sheer fact of I feel 10 times safer when I have an Aruni with me. Like, having an Aruni gate up allows me to not have to worry about something. And on top of that, she can make punch holes with her fist. And on top of that, she has a DMR, which is so good. Like, I'm not using that stupid Roni. I'm using a DMR anytime I use her. It is insane. 1.5 times in a DMR. Oh my goodness. On defense, it's nuts. Flores, S tier. Amazing for clearing utility. The best way to clear utility is using a Flores. Me personally, I played Flores maybe once in my life. I don't play him. But I just don't like his gun. But his kit is very, very good. Very, very good. Like, anytime you're attacking Oregon, you're bringing a Flores. Anytime you want to get rid of anything, you're bringing a Flores. Very, very good operator. A very, very good operator. Thunderbird, S tier easily. God, there's so many S tier operators up here. Her Thunderbird, her gun, very, very good. AR and defense. Finka's gun has a C4, has a bearing 9, has Thunderbird devices that you can, a Kona station that you can heal at after you die. It's still in use. I think it's a huge thing. I put her at S tier, hands down. Osa, I put Osa at A tier. I think Osa is so annoying to deal with. Oh my god. Like, when people play Osa, they open the wall and they put an Osa out there, you can't do anything. Or they open it up and they plant behind it. Like, oh my god, it's so annoying. Then Thorn, I put Thorn at A tier. Yeah, I know it, actually, I put her at A tier. I was gonna say S tier, because her thing is really good. Like, she's like almost S tier. She's very, very good. Very, very, very good. Like, being able to just throw a Thorn anywhere and then not have to worry about that, because if they hop in, it kills them. It's like a better Lesion and like a better, Frost. But Frost is just really good because she has a 1.5 times, she has a shotgun, so there's other things that come into it. It's why I have Frost at S tier and not Thorn. A zombie, S tier, not even close. You can make the most insane one-way angles with the zombie. You can block off so many different things with a zombie. She is a, like, must-pick operator on certain sites. She is insanely good. Sens, E tier. Sens is just shit. Like, half the time you play Sens, they have a Warden, or, like, you just fuck over your own team, and, like, people just run through the smoke. So it's annoying. I think it could be useful in certain situations, but no. Grim, F tier. He's just shit. Like, I just don't think he's good. Like, they need to do something about it, because he's just hot ass. Soulless, S tier, because the P90 is nuts. The impacts are nuts. The SMG-11 is nuts. She is the best defender in the game to play aggressive with. Like, if you want to play aggressive, go on Oregon, sit in garage, and literally just use your Soulless and wait till you see people go on drones. Impact out the garage, impact out the window, hop out. You get so much information. The amount of times that I jump out on people with Solus is insane. You can see if they have a Claymore there. You can see if they're on their drone. You can see if a Jackal has his Jackal camera on. You can see a Finka if she Finka boosts. You can see a Blitz when he has his Blitz on. Like, when he's running around. Like, it is nuts. Best defender. One of the best defenders in the game. My top 3. Easily. But this is my list. I'm pretty confident with this list. I would say this is a pretty solid list. What do you guys think? What would you change? And let me know your opinions down below. But hopefully you did enjoy this video. I will see y'all. Have an amazing day. Much love. Peace.